Winter Garden is one of the fastest growing areas in the greater Orlando area, and that's primarily because, well, really a multitude of factors. It's the new development, the lifestyle, the fun and restaurants you have, the nature, the schools, all that kind of mixes together to make Winter Garden what it is today and why people love living here and why people are choosing it over a lot of areas in the past they would have chosen before. Hey guys, this is Will with EX Realty, and today we are here in Winter Garden, Florida. First, Happy New Year's. Hope you guys are enjoying the new year so far. With the new year, we're going to talk about this new area. I sold a lot of houses here, but I haven't really touched on the area too much. So I wanted to go into Winter Garden and talk about why people are moving here and what you should know before you come here. But before we get started, make sure to click that subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date with everything we have coming to you in the Central Florida market and in Winter Garden. So let's go check out Winter Garden and why people love this place. So the number one reason why I think people are moving to Winter Garden today is primarily because of the lifestyle. Right now we're here in downtown Winter Garden. What I really like about it is you still have kind of like this old architecture. You're still getting a bit of the old Winter Garden and you're mixing with all the new restaurants and the new excitement that's coming here. So if people really want that old town kind of feel, they can kind of stick in this northern area and still get these older established communities and still have things to enjoy for the entire family or even just for couples, date night, all that. It has it here. Aside from that, you do also have all of this new development, which I'm going to touch on in more in depth a little later. But for the purpose of the lifestyle, you do have all these new, fun, exciting things to do. You have the shopping centers, you have new restaurants, all the grocery stores, anything you need, it's going to be here. Whether it's a drive or whether you have to drive down to the Horizon West area or come back up north to get it, it doesn't really matter because it's all here. And I think it blends it really well. And on top of that, it incorporates a lot of nature. I know a lot of people in Central Florida or people that are moving from other states are moving to Florida primarily because of the good weather and the nature. And what I think is really good about Winter Garden is even though it's getting all the development and it still has the older buildings, the older architecture in some parts of it, you get a really good blend of that and the nature. So you have trails, you have lakes, you have parks. So I think all together, like, you really can't go too many places in Central Florida and get all of that. The only comparable areas I would give really are Winter Park and Windermere. But outside of that, getting the nature, new development, old architecture, so the character and all the fun and excitement you get in new development, I don't really think you can get it too many other places in Central Florida other than Winter Garden. I touched on my last point. New development is a really big reason why people have decided to call this place home, especially in Central Florida where you really get these kind of self-contained communities like Lake Nona. Winter Garden is another one of those, so I'd put those kind of neck and neck. And the new development here, you have a ton of builders here. You have MI Homes, Lennar, Toll Brothers, Dream Finders. A lot of great builders are here in Winter Garden, so people really that love new homes have decided to come here because in the city of Orlando, you're really not getting too much new construction outside of the Lake Nona area. So people really like the fact they can get a brand new home for a reasonable price, which we'll kind of talk about later, just because this is one of the more expensive areas in the greater Orlando area, but at least they do have a plentiful abundance of new construction. I will say though, if you are going to go the new construction route, you do have to have a pretty strong plan in place because most homes are selling from the dirt and there is a pretty long build time just because of all the supply chain shortages we've seen throughout the past 2 years really. So if you do want to build a home here, they are available, but it's really just making sure that you're actually ready to pull the trigger and pick up those lots. Another thing to caution outside of just the new development, but just a general home market here in Winter Garden in general, it is a pretty strong seller's market, so homes are getting multiple offers. I actually have one closing next week and we beat out 14 other offers for that one. So just know that if you do want to win a home here, whether it's resale or new construction, it is going to be pretty competitive. So you definitely have to have a strong pre-approval and a strong plan in place, especially if you're relocating from another state. And to kind of dip into a little bit of what those homes and the prices, I did want to kind of talk about the prices as well. The median home price here is $520,000. So this definitely is a lot more expensive than the city of Orlando, which is sitting at about $330,000. So to get all that fun, excitement, new development, everything we talked about, there is a price to pay for that. So you definitely are well above the price in Orlando. So do expect to pay that, most likely more if you are looking for a home here in Winter Garden. once again, like I mentioned earlier, another really great thing about this area is there's a ton of nature. So if you're someone that likes lakefront living, you like being around parks, you like a whole bunch of greenery, you're definitely not going to miss any of that here, because we do have a ton of that here. Most people that are looking for lakes in the Orlando area, kind of more central, not going too far out, look in the Windermere and Winter Garden areas, because if they want to live on the water, these are the best places you can get it. I will say you're typically going to be paying $1 million or over for that, but if you do want to be on the lake, this is like the best place to do it. If not here, I would say go to Windermere. But the lakes here, the nature, the parks, all of that, you have that in plentiful abundance. So I think people really like that, because you're getting that nature, development, old historic kind of Winter Garden. You're mixing all that together, and like, once again, you're not really getting that in too many cities in Central Florida outside of maybe like Winter Park and Windermere. Really, the last biggest draw for me is going to be the location. Winter Garden's a pretty big city, so you're going all the way north up near Ocoee, and it stretches all the way down the 429 going towards Disney. And I think that if you're a Disney lover and you like being around the parks, you can live more towards the south side of the 429 and still be next to all of that and still get the new development, nature, everything you need, all your shopping still going to be there. But if you also want a more established community, you can still kind of go up north with the older communities and be near the Ocoee area and the Windermere area. So you're not too far from anything. You're really not far from the airport. You just have to hop on the 408 really to get to Orlando, and everything's really close to you. So you're never really having to drive too far, but you're just pulled back enough so you're not getting all the noise and the busyness, the congestion that you get in Orlando or even in Lake Nona where I live. So I think that's really the really good thing about it, is you're just far enough but not too far, which I think people really enjoy here in Central Florida. So while it is a really great suburb to live in, I would say it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There are some people that really wouldn't live here, kind of for the opposite of a lot of the reasons I just listed. Some people don't like the location. They feel like it's too far from Orlando. Another big complaint I get is the 429 can get really backed up sometimes, so the traffic here can't be the best. I'll say that in the residential areas, it's never really too bad from what I've seen when I'm showing clients here. But I do know that highway can suck sometimes, especially if you have to go down to I-4. It can get super backed up. Aside from the traffic, the next two big things that I would say knock people out from living in Winter Garden is going to be the affordability and the nightlife and the amenities. While I do think that we do have a ton of amenities for families and day things to do, I don't think there's really much of a nightlife presence here. So if you're someone that does enjoy that, I would say you want to go closer to Orlando so you don't have to drive too far to get that. So if you're someone that would prefer to be in the middle of all the action, I don't think this is going to be the place for you. I do think it's a lot more family oriented, a lot more slowed down. But on the other side of that, we do have to talk about affordability. $520,000 median purchase price is a lot higher than Orlando, so not everybody can afford to live here. So you're getting that. It's a great suburb, with strong schools, strong community, all of that stuff. But there is a price to pay for that. It's definitely not cheap, so it's much higher than a lot of places here in Central Florida. You're definitely looking in those price points with the Windermeres, the Winter Parks, Lake Nonas. That's kind of the bunch that you're into. So those are really things that I think cause people to rule Winter Garden out. But otherwise, I would say most people really do love it. And when I do have clients reach out to me from YouTube or I get a referral in person, they ask me what are some of the best places to go in Central Florida. This is definitely at the tippy top of my list. So all things considered, I would say it's overall probably a really strong place to live, and you're definitely gonna love it here. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that super quick video I did of the Winter Garden area. I really do love showing here. I love when clients buy homes here because the homes are really beautiful. I really love showing them. And I think the community is great. I come over here to eat myself, and I come over here to enjoy myself, enjoy the nature, and I think you would definitely love that here too if you did relocate here. As always, if you want to stay up to date with everything we have coming to you in the Central Florida market, make sure to click that subscribe button, give us a like, comment, let us know how we're doing. Helps me bring more content to you, and I will catch you guys next time.